We're going.
So, good afternoon, Mr. Nazarian. It's a pleasure to chat with you. You are the first Iranian American member of the California Assembly. Last year, you put forward a resolution to recognize the Persian New Year of Nowruz. Tremendous success and a lot of support from the Iranian American community. This year, you followed up again with that. Can you share with us a little bit about what this has meant to you as an individual who was born in Iran and is connected with the community here in Southern California?
Of course, and thank you very much for coming here to my office and giving me the opportunity to address this issue. First and foremost, the reason I got into public service and politics was because I wanted to give voice and assure that disparate communities throughout California, throughout Los Angeles, throughout the United States that have been immigrant communities and have arrived here and are very hardworking and put their head down and try to contribute to their families' well-being and strengthen their family, especially given in light of what they've had to go through in life in their previous home countries, to have an opportunity to be heard and to be served by government. I myself am Armenian. I was born in Iran, as you mentioned, and my family went through a great ordeal to arrive to the United States all in one. It took us over 5 years. Just about 5 years, to have a family of 7 gather and regather, I should say. And all 7 of us were in a 2-bedroom apartment for several months until we then, once we had all collected, we started living our lives. It wasn't the struggle about bringing everyone together. It was now, let's move forward and learn the rules and the lifestyle of our newly adopted country. So it was very important to me to shed a light on the lives of all of these different constituents and residents of California who have gone through similar tribulations and difficulties and challenges in life, given what my family went through. And so, and Nowruz to me represents that significant event that cuts through all of the political and religious circumstances. It was something that in Iran was enjoyed by the Armenians, the Jews of Iran, the Baha'i, as well as the Muslim. Everyone came together to enjoy this ritual. And it cut through everything because it was a Zoroastrian traditional event. And it's something that no matter who came through Iran, no matter what regime took over, it survived. Something that started by the Zoroastrians over 3,000 years ago, and it survived for all those years. And so I thought it was important for it to be recognized here in California.
I was on the assembly floor on March the 16th of 2015 this year when you had the resolution for Nowruz presented before the assembly, and I recognized that there were quite a number of other assembly members that stood up and spoke about Nowruz. Can you share with me a little bit about their response when you approached them to sponsor this bill to recognize Nowruz, and what has it meant for them? Obviously, Nowruz is a secular holiday. It's recognizing renewal and spring and peaceful coexistence. So, what was their reaction? What did they say when you approached them regarding this resolution?
Some of it was very endearing. I did not expect for example, every caucus to rise up and speak on the issue. And I love the fact that most of my colleagues decided to do it on their own because they saw the merit, they saw the importance of and the significance of the contribution of various immigrant communities in California, in our state. And so they wanted to, at their own will, stand up and speak on behalf of their constituency or a caucus. In certain cases, I loved the interpretation that was offered. My colleague, Miss Shirley Weber, for example, talked about how in the African culture this meant a certain time of renewal in their life. It's part of the circle of life. And I love the interpretation she offered, looking at it from a different scope. And that also strengthens and brings different cultures together, especially when you have a celebratory event. So it was very meaningful. And as you mentioned, it's grown. The first time around, many of my colleagues did not really know what this was about, because also, let's not forget, when you're dealing with issues impacting the state of California, you're dealing with water, with transportation, with healthcare, these significant issues, our prison systems. And so when your mind is continuously focused about these things, sometimes some of these other resolutions or events may not to resonate initially, especially when it's the first time. So given that it was the second time, given that everyone had had a taste of this, given that we've talked about many immigrant issues or issues that impact immigrant communities, everyone had become a lot more sensitized towards the issues, and it was good to see that both the community participated in a greater strength and number. A lot of my constituents and constituents from other districts showed up on the floor, to the fact that a lot more members were now aware of the issue and actively participated in it.